All right, now over in the Fitzgerald booth, me and my buddy Bryan Thrift moved over here, and I think he's been being sneaky with us, been working on something. And
Yeah.
he's a sneaky guy, and he's working on what a little teeny tiny, little jig here, and
Yeah.
it's very specialized. But I'm gonna let the man, one of the best fishermen on tour, give us a little rundown on the new jig he's been working on.
Yeah, so this is a new jig, a new concept we came up with actually probably about 8 months ago. We've been talking about it and trying to get it right. I wanted a micro skipping jig. I wanted a jig designed that I could skip underneath docks as well as a regular size jig, but I wanted it in a small package because, as we all know, we've grown the sport. There's lots of anglers on the water. Fish are more pressured than ever. So I want a little bite-sized package that I could slide all the way under a dock and get to those pressured fish and get some bites.
Yeah.
So that's what we did at Fitzgerald Fishing. We came out with my signature series micro skipping jig. We offered in 3 different sizes, 3/8, half, 5/8, 6 different colors. That's an example of the green pumpkin yellow. We've got a nice chartreuse spot shot on the head. We did a solid black, several other green pumpkin natural looking colors, then we did a black and blue. But we built this jig on a stouter 3/0 mustad hook. We've got the Arky style head, a little bit stiffer weed guard because you are going to be in heavier color. Even though this is a micro jig and it's going to give you that small package, you're still going to be able to fish this on 12 all the way up to 20-pound line, and you're going to be able to get good penetration with that hook. You're going to get good quality hook sets, but when you're beefing it up to 20-pound line, you're not going to have to worry about opening that hook up.
I know our head of buying, Joey Reggio, is going to be happy about 20-pound line because he throws everything on 20-pound line.
Exactly.
That's probably his new favorite jig. Now the slightly modified head on there. So
Right.
What's making this? What did you do to this to make it skip so good?
So the actions and the design we incorporated into this jig to ease its skipability in this smaller package was it's all tungsten. So we got that smaller profile.
It is crazy small.
But when you get to a smaller profile with tungsten, you lose surface area, which is going to kill you on being able to skip this bait.
Yeah.
So we actually flattened out the head a little bit. It's kind of an improved Arky style design. So we've still got a big surface area, but one of your big killers when you're skipping a jig is you don't want all the weight forward because it's going to have a tendency to go under the water. So we actually poured a lot of the weight down the shank of the hook to give you this nice bait keeper to actually spread that weight out to a bigger surface area and allow this micro skipping jig to skip better.
See, Bryan Thrift is still being sneaky with it. And, you didn't tell me it was a tungsten jig until we started this. And now,
I got to keep a few aces up my sleeve.
And then, that's genius, putting a little bit of that weight. And, a little bit of tungsten is going to go a long way.
Exactly, it's going to go a long way.
Back there on the keeper system. So just removing that weight, and spreading it out through that jig.
Right, spreading it out over a larger surface area.
So it'll be a little easier to skip. This, you probably don't need too much help skipping them jigs up underneath docks, and but that smaller, more compact profile going to help get you more bites. This might help me not blow up so many reels.
Exactly, and playing on that small micro skipping jig design, they're all hand-tied skirts, but we also have the finesse silicone material. So this is actually a smaller strand silicone to give you that more compact look underneath the water. When it gets on the bottom and it flares out, it's going to give you a nice small profile.
Real similar to the silicone that's on the small football jig.
Exactly, it's the same skirt material that's on our micro football jig.
Which is awesome. It's an awesome skirt material, and it's premium silicone, and it's hand-tied. It's always, I feel like it's always a shame when you don't get a hand-tied skirt.
Exactly.
Something that's built so well and has so many great features on it, and you don't want to skimp on that part of it and have a hand-tied skirt.
Exactly. So you're not going to have to worry about that skirt sliding down. It's going to make you more efficient, especially when you're skipping, because I'm not going to lie, I still hit a dock pole occasionally.
I'm sure.
I'm going to still hit some dock poles. But this micro skipping jig is going to still be able to get those long skip casts, where you can get 15, 20 feet back up underneath that structure and get to those pressured bass that are used to traditionally seeing a bigger bodied bait.
Yeah, a full-size skirt. This is going to be so awesome, that more compact profile. It is the micro skipping jig, but if you're just looking for a smaller, more compact flipping jig, you can put this into brush and throw it around anything. It's going to come through covered great, and then got that 3/0. It's a stout hook. So plenty of power. Put your 20-pound on, and you flip right into bushes and get 'em
Exactly,
right out.
and I've always been a proponent. I've always loved the vertical line tie. I know you that's like one of the big arguments.
Everyone
like,
fights on that one.
Everyone fights. It's kind of like, do you trim your frog legs different lengths so it walks better? But the whole concept behind that vertical line tie is if you picture your bait coming up to a limb, it's going to rock over that limb better. If you've got a horizontal line tie, it's going to come up and have a hitting point.
Yeah, somewhere to knock on it.
Right, so you come up, it's going to roll over, it's going to allow you to come through wood, come through structure when you're underneath those docks, underneath those laydowns. And to me, it is the perfect micro skipping jig.
I'm pretty stoked about this one. And I mean, this is one that you're probably going to have tied on 365
Oh, yeah.
days a year.
I've never
You can throw
had-
it out on anything, but just going to give you that performance you need for skipping.
Exactly. And you're still going to be able to do it on traditional bait casting gear. You're not going to have to go down to a spinning rod. Like, you can pick up that Fitzgerald 6'9" skipping rod, tie this thing on with some 15 to 20 pound line, and put it where you want it.
Well, I can't wait to watch you out there using it on tour. You've probably already been using it.
I
We
have.
didn't know.
I have.
So, you know, thanks again, Bryan Thrift.
Thank you.
Take us through the new jig. You guys can check these out. They'll be available soon at tacklewarehouse.com.